Hi guys, Lisa Edwards here of Exclusive Career Coaching, and I want to give you my 5 quick tips for making the most of your LinkedIn profile. So what can you do to improve what I like to call your curb appeal on LinkedIn? Here's the thing. I think of LinkedIn, of course, it's like a community. So let's just think of it, it's a big old city, right? Well, within that city, you have a home, and that's your LinkedIn profile, and I want to tell you how to make the most of it. I'm actually going to be referring to some notes here because I've got some specific examples that I want to give you. First of all, let's talk about why LinkedIn is so important. I get a lot of questions, especially from my target market, 22 to 32-year-olds, especially the more on the 22-year-old end, where they just don't really get LinkedIn. Like, they don't really understand it. They have a profile, and now they don't know what to do next. The biggest kind of statistic that I can give you to kind of drive home the importance of LinkedIn is an old statistic that I think is pretty low, and it is this: 94% of employers use LinkedIn in the hiring process. 94%. So let's just figure that's like 5 years old now. So let's just figure that everybody does, right? Except for like some random little rural place or a little mom and pop shop. Everybody's using it. And they're doing it in a couple of different ways. And so one thing that's really important to remember is that they may be seeing your LinkedIn profile before they ever see your resume. And so if you have a really poor LinkedIn profile, but you put all this energy into having a great resume, it may not matter because they may not want to see your resume based on your LinkedIn profile. If a recruiter is on LinkedIn searching for candidates who meet your criteria, they're going to see your LinkedIn profile before your resume. So as much energy and effort as you put into your resume, you need to put that much into your LinkedIn profile. So here are my 5 top tips. And we're going to kind of be going from the top to the bottom rather than in order of importance. So number 1 has to do with your headline. So your headline is the 120 characters that you have to put right underneath your name at the top of your profile. And I see most people waste that space just in a terrible way. 120 characters is actually quite a bit. And so you want to think about, maybe you do need to put your current job title and even your current company name in so as not to sort of tip your hand to your employer that you're looking. But what are the brand attributes that you can include in your heading that will help the reader to know more about you? That heading is a key place that recruiters search on, so you want to make the most of it. So I've got a couple of examples here that I want to give you from clients that I've written for. So this one is Global Learning and Talent Development Pipe. You know what the pipe is, that vertical line. Developing innovative, mission-driven solutions that optimize employee engagement. So this was somebody who was in the learning and development space, like an HR capacity. So Global Learning and Talent Development Pipe, developing innovative, mission-driven solutions that optimize employee engagement. Another one for a client I wrote was Marketing Executive Dash, surpassing expectations with groundbreaking innovation, pipe, equal parts strategist and tactician. That was a pretty good one. I like that one. Marketing Executive slash surpassing expectation with groundbreaking innovation, pipe, equal parts strategist and tactician. And then another example, Trade show slash event marketing manager, pipe, exceptional organizational problem solving and relationship building skills. I'll give that one to you again. Trade show slash event marketing manager, pipe, exceptional organizational problem solving and relationship building skills. All of those are within 120 characters. I put them onto my clients' LinkedIn profiles. They're probably on there still. And they really present those clients as more than just, here's my job title. And you'll notice with all of those, I did not include the current employer's name. It was appropriate for me to be able to do that. But if you have to include your employer's name, yeah, that takes some of the character space away, but you've still got plenty of space to put your brand. So number 2 is your professional photo. It's just gotta be, guys. So your professional photo should be a headshot only. You should look approachable and friendly within the context of your career. So what makes an accountant look friendly and approachable may be different from what makes a dog behavior therapist look friendly and approachable, but make sure that it looks like you as a professional in an approachable capacity. Headshot only. It should be a very good quality, And there shouldn't be anything or anyone else in your picture other than you. So no, disembodied arms from where you were in a group photo, or, a friend is in there with you. And I've seen these where I don't even know which person in the picture the profile is of. It's not obvious to me. So professional photo. I'm not saying that you have to have the photo professionally done. It just needs to be professional quality. So if you can achieve that with your cell phone, and maybe have a friend, don't do it as a selfie, but have a friend take the picture of you, then go for it. All right, number 3, your summary is, and your experience section should be written in first person. The best advice I can give you on how you write your summary, which is up at the top, and then the professional experience, which is each of the jobs that you've had, is write it like you were telling your story to someone. So here's how I write LinkedIn profiles. I take the facts of my client from their resume that I've already written for them, but I write it in first person in a more conversational style. It's not a different story because it's the same person. I'm simply writing it in a different way, in a way that is more conversational and kind of like I'm having a conversation with the reader. So here's an example. So if I've got a resume bullet that says restructured showroom division by partnering with a model agent to overhaul all showroom models' portfolios, which generated substantially more revenue for that division, I'm going to write it on there. This is actually a client that I did. I wrote it on their LinkedIn profile as the showroom division revenue lagged behind that of other divisions. So I partnered with a model agent to overhaul all showroom models' online portfolios. My efforts substantially increased revenue for that division. So same facts, just write them in a more conversational style and use first person. Now, don't overdo the I's. So I would go back through, and what I do is I actually go through after I've written it and I eliminate as many of the I's as I can get away with while still keeping it in first person. So that's number 3, your summary and your professional experience section should be written in first person. And to that point, use the character count available to you, particularly in the summary section, because it's so valuable from an SEO perspective. You've got about 1,988 characters for the summary section, and I try to use as many of those as I can for my clients because it does help with SEO. Number 4, get those connections up there, folks. If you're not at 500 plus, which is the kind of gold standard, if you will, I want you to get to 500 plus as quickly as possible. How do you do that? You use the advanced search function that most of you don't even know exists. Go up to the top of your profile where you can put somebody's name in to search for them, and you'll see in that little box, you'll see a magnifying glass. Click on the magnifying glass and it'll open up a whole bunch of options for you to search on. You can search on people's names, yes, but you can also search on where they work now, where they worked before, what job title they held, what city they worked in, gosh, a whole bunch, where they went to school. There's all these kind of criteria. So go in there and start playing around. Wherever you graduated from, wherever you work now, wherever you worked before, put in a zip code to see who lives around you, and just start asking people to connect. It's important for you to get that quantity up before you start reaching for the stars in terms of the quality of your connections. So before you start reaching for CEOs that you don't know, or presidents of companies or key decision makers, let's get that number up so that they can see that you're playing fairly seriously on LinkedIn first, and then you can shoot for the stars. So get 500 connections. And then my 5th suggestion is get at least 3 recommendations on LinkedIn. Now, this is not the skills section where somebody just clicks and says, yes, they're good at, data analytics. This is where someone has taken the time to write a recommendation about you. Now, if you don't know how to do that, shoot me an email message and I'll be glad to walk you through it. You just have to know what you're looking for. It's a little bit tricky, but not really. But this is somebody that you're already connected to who can speak about you in a professional capacity. So whether it's a boss, former boss, coworker, customer, you were a customer of theirs, whatever, Those recommendations can be incredibly helpful, particularly for recruiters who haven't met you yet, who haven't received your resume, and they're trying to decide whether to approach you. That can be the difference maker. And the way that I recommend you go about those recommendations is really think about your brand. Hopefully you've done that work for your resume and your LinkedIn profile. And then think about who among my connections can speak about the different aspects of my brand. Who can specifically address my data analytics skills, my sales skills, my marketing abilities, and then ask them specifically to write about that thing so that they have that guidance and they're writing about what you're hoping they will write about. So again, my 5 top tips. Headline, use the 120 characters, talk about your brand. Number 2, professional photo. Number 3, write your profile in first person. Number 4, get at least 500 connections. And number 5, get at least 3 recommendations. Hope this helps. If you guys want to learn more about my teaching, I encourage you to visit my podcast, The Exclusive Career Coach, wherever you get your podcast. I have at this publication over 80 episodes out there on all things career management, not just job search. So I cover a really wide range of career-related topics. You're welcome and encouraged to connect with me on LinkedIn at Lisa Edwards. It's Lesa Edwards, and I promise you I'm likely to be the first one that shows up because I have a really big footprint on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Facebook at Exclusive Career Coaching or on Instagram at lesa.edwards. If you would like to take this further, then you can schedule a free 30-minute consult call with me. We can talk about your job search or your career management, and I promise you'll get at least 2 great tips that you can immediately put to use to improve whatever it is you're working on. And if I think I can help you further, I'll tell you what that would look like at that time. If you'd like to schedule that consult call, the URL to my online calendar is www.timetrade.com/book/the letter D, 6, the letters KLN. And that URL again is www.timetrade.com/book/D6KLN. Hope to see you there. Take care.